Welcome to the Best of Beaver County, presented by St. Barnabas, a weekly multimedia segment dedicated to putting the focus on the amazing things and the amazing people behind them in Beaver County. The Best of Beaver County is sponsored by and content is provided by St. Barnabas. The show airs every Thursday from 11 to 11:30 on WBVP, WMBA, and Facebook Live. Now, with no further ado, let's welcome host Jim Roddey to introduce today's program.
We are live from the St. Barnabas Radio Studio on WBVP and WMBA and 99.3 FM. This is your host, Jim Roddey, and the focus of our show is to introduce you to successful people who have a personal connection with Beaver County and our region. The show is presented by St. Barnabas, which has been caring for people in southwestern Pennsylvania since 1900. Today, in Allegheny, Beaver, and Butler counties, we offer the full continuum of care, including independent and assisted living, skilled care, memory care, home care, dental care, and we have a freestanding medical center. We have an exciting show for you today, and we're waiting for our guests to call in. I'll ask my producer, Frank, have they called in yet?
No, we have not heard from them yet.
Okay, well, you and I may just have a chat. We're hoping to hear from Josh and Brynn Marie and Josh Hines, and he is a retired professional boxing champion, and she is a Nashville recording studio artist, and they have a very interesting story to tell. But while we're waiting for them, Frank, let's talk about what's going on in Pennsylvania and the governor's latest announcement.
Well, Mr. Roddey, you've been in a position like that when you were the chief executive of Allegheny County. Now, obviously nothing this big, but what's your thoughts about Governor Wolf's announcement last night of maybe opening up in phases and opening up regionally instead of maybe going county by county?
Well, I think it's all right if we do it very carefully. We've really got to monitor the number of cases, the number of hospital beds. Right now in Allegheny County, there's plenty of hospital beds. As far as I know, there's plenty of hospital beds in Beaver and Butler counties. So I don't think that's a big issue. But we do need to watch the numbers, and the numbers have been trending down, and that needs to continue. But his idea of doing it in phases, I think, is smart. The first phase would be people that can open. Let's take outside construction as an example. Mm-hmm. There's no reason why people can't keep distances in outdoor construction and wear a mask. What about golf courses? Golf courses, people can keep their distances. That's fairly easy. Automobile sales, we need to get those car dealers back open and functioning, and they can certainly practice social distancing and wear masks and do all of those things. So I think the phases are good. I haven't heard the details yet of his announcement, but what's your take on it, Frank?
Well, I don't like the idea that he wants to start grouping things by, I like the idea. I was just talking with Representative Jim Marshall earlier, and he was talking about they want to do regionally, and I like the idea of doing county by county because one county in the same region might be showing more numbers than the other, and then at that point we're hesitating because of the fact that we have that going on. Well,
I agree. I think it ought to be. We need to monitor it and do it by county by county. I don't think there's any question about that. But what does he want to do it regionally and in multiple counties?
He wants to do it regionally, looking with the Northwest County first, and then also looking like in the middle of the central counties first, where there's less of a population, and start there and work his way up. Starting with the red phase, and then after the numbers sustain so much, going to yellow phase, and then finally going to a green phase after that.
Well, I think that's probably all right, but I'm a little concerned now. I think some of those northwest counties and the middle of the state, they can do regionally because they don't collectively they don't have a lot of cases. But Allegheny County has quite a few, and I don't think it ought to be in a region. I think it ought to be separate by itself.
Gotcha.
But I think there's a lot of things. What else besides golf courses, construction, and car dealerships can you think of?
Probably roofers and things like that. But how about we move on, because Josh Himes is on the line ready to talk with you this morning.
Oh, we've got our guests with us now,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, and they are a retired professional boxing champion and a Nashville recording artist, Josh Himes, and Brynn Marie, his wife. Josh, welcome to the best of Beaver County.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us on.
Well, it's great to have you with us, and tell us a little about yourself and where you're from.
So originally, I'm from Monaca.
So you're a Beaver County boy.
Beaver County, born and raised.
Well, now, where did you go to school?
I went to Monaca High School before Monaca merged.
Right.
Graduated high school 2008.
Now, did they have a boxing program there?
They did not. Unfortunately, I didn't start getting into boxing until I was 19 years old.
So you were 18 before you ever started boxing?
Yes, I graduated high school, went to college, played sports in college, and then just had the desire and passion. I always wanted to box, and although my mother wouldn't allow me to box, so...
Well, your mother was smart, probably.
So with the study of being denied the box, I waited till after high school, after 18 years old, and that's when I got into it.
Brynn, what about you? Brynn Marie, what about you? Are you a Beaver County girl?
No, actually, I'm from Greene County.
You're from Greene County, so southwestern Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Now, where did you go to school?
Small town called Carmichael.
Well, I want to talk a little about Josh and his boxing, and then I want to talk about your career, Brynn. But Josh, what motivated you to be a boxer?
I'm probably, and Brynn could attest to this, I'm just extremely competitive in all that I do. Sometimes it could be a flaw because it's just, I'm always going to win. Always going to win.
Well, there's nothing more competitive than boxing. I boxed in Golden Gloves, but much earlier than you started. I was in junior high school, and then I was in high school. Won the local championship. Went to the state and lost and gave up my boxing career. I was at 126 pounds.
A little bit lighter.
Yeah. Well, now you box light heavy.
I'm a cruiserweight, 200 pounds.
Cruiser. Well, they used to call that light heavyweight, but now there's cruiserweights, right? And
Yes, correct.
What are the weights for cruiserweight now? 175.
175 to 200 pounds.
To 200. Okay.
Pretty big gap.
Well, you can have some boxers in that division that have pretty strong punches. Now you have 11 fights, 13 fights?
Yes, sir. 13 fights. I'm 11-2.
11-2. Now, how many knockouts did you have?
I had 6 knockouts.
6 knockouts of your 11 victories. So did you knock them out with your right or your left? Or you have a left hook? Or are you a righty or lefty?
I'm a righty predominantly, but I think the follow-up too, the right hand is the silent killer.
Right. Well, tell us about where you went in your boxing career.
I'm like a very, very extremely proud Beaver County guy. I was obviously born and bred from here. I started my career here and built my foundation from here. I went to local gyms here for Beaver County Fight Club, the Tommy and Keller's gym. I built everything up from that, and then
is boxing popular in Beaver County?
I don't believe boxing gets the recognition it deserves in Beaver County.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you got into boxing. Beaver County's known for football and basketball, and we've had a lot of track stars come out of there. But boxing, I guess there have been a few, but not a lot. Now, who taught you to box? Did you have a mentor or somebody that trained you initially?
No, literally, my learned to box from the first time I stepped into a gym. Went to Beaver County Fight Club, which is now closed down. And that was the first bit of boxing for me.
Was there someone there to show you how to turn your fist over and how to do a left hook and all of those things?
Yes, a gentleman who's now passed away, Marty Korak, was my first trainer and showed me the ropes.
Well, now, did you head overseas to fight anywhere, or you go in any other countries?
Yeah, so my home gym and later in my career became a Fifth Street Gym in Miami, Muhammad Ali's gym.
Yeah.
Whenever I got there and early in my pro career, I went and started traveling around more often. Then I went and fought over Dominican Republic. I've trained in Iceland. I've been blessed to get to travel around and get to see many places. Canada as well.
Wow. Well, I want to come back and talk about that, but first, I want to talk to Brynn Marie. You are a Nashville recording artist, and tell us how that happened.
Oh, well, it happened, oh my gosh, after years and years of pursuing music here in Pittsburgh. I had a band and traveled around and played at a lot of functions and events, and then I started opening up for a lot of the acts that would come and tour through Pittsburgh. So it was one of those things where I was really pursuing it here, and I thought, wow, if I really want to make something of it and take it to the next level, Nashville was the place to go.
Now, you're a country western singer?
Yeah, I would say country rock.
Right. So you went to Nashville. That's got to be a great experience.
Oh, it was absolutely incredible. Just because the city thrives on creativity and people are just, so much talent. And I feel like if you surround yourself around a lot of talented people, it pushes you to be your best, really, So it's definitely a thriving city.
Well, now, how in the world did you go? You go off to Nashville to be a recording star, and how did you and Josh find each other?
Well, that is a fun and interesting story. We actually, Josh, you might want to take this one. This one actually is better when he tells it.
This is a crazy story. So I was living in South Beach, Miami, where I was with my team at the Street Gym, and I came across a picture of Brynn on Twitter. It was from a tweet from Froggy Radio, actually. So I reached out to Froggy Radio and said, "Who is this girl? Can please somebody tell me who this is? I'm gonna marry this girl." I kid you not, I saw her picture, so I'm gonna marry her.
Well, Brynn, when you first heard this story, you must have thought he was crazy.
Absolutely. Especially when I heard he was a boxer, too. I was like, man, this guy's off the
rocker. that had to make you really, really excited. Here's a boxer that says he's going to marry you.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was crazy. And the funny part is our friend Danger, who's has the show on Froggy, he was the one who connected us. And at first he just told me, oh, this is like a professional boxer. He lives in Miami, and his name is the Handsome Hitman. I'm like, strike one, strike two, strike three. Because
you didn't need a bodyguard.
I just thought to myself, like, I'm probably have nothing in common with this guy. I don't know. It didn't hit me the right way until he called me back and he was like, Brynn, did you call, Josh back? I said, no, I haven't actually reached out to him yet. He said, Brynn, come on. He's like a really good Christian guy. He's from the Pittsburgh area. He's, just a really, oh yeah, he's like, he's Italian. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me all this stuff in the first place? Like, you said everything that just seems so disconnected, and then he tells me, like, all this good stuff. I'm like, well, you know, with me being from the Pittsburgh area and living in Nashville and thinking this guy is living in Miami, just to have that connection was super cool. So then I finally, you know, reached out and said hello.
You don't meet many people in Miami from southwestern Pennsylvania, Greene County or Beaver County.
No, you don't. And that's the funny thing. Like, I was touring a whole lot at that time, so from the West Coast to East Coast and everywhere, it's just like, it's very, like, seldom you ever meet anybody that knows where you went to high school or just anything like that, you know? So to think, wow, I'm living in Tennessee and he's living in Miami, and here we're both originally from the cornerstone of Pennsylvania. It's just crazy.
Well, now I'm going to come back and talk to you about something that you and your boxer Josh have put together called Fight2Fight.
Yep, Fight2Fight.
And I want to talk about that, but we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back to talk to Josh and Brynn Marie about how they got together and how they are doing something particularly for their community. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jim Roddey, and you're listening to the best of Beaver County.
In the yard, trips to the Tuska Drive-In, going fishing. Dad has always been by your side, making memories and taking care of the family. Today, Dad needs some help with daily care. St. Barnabas Beaver Meadows is here for your family. From on-site recreation to community outings, rest assured that Dad will continue making memories in a safe, caring environment. That's why we've been voted Best in the Valley for 8 straight years. To schedule a tour, call 724-495-1600.
You've joined the best of Beaver County, a multimedia presentation with host Jim Roddey, presented by St. Barnabas on WBVP, WMBA, and 99.3 FM. Also streamed live on Facebook.
Attention, anyone looking for a job, please listen carefully. This is Jim Roddey, and I want to tell you that St. Barnabas is hiring. We're looking for licensed practical nurses, certified nurses assistants, personal care attendants, maintenance technicians, food service assistants, and security officers. We're also looking for a bakery manager at our Tuska Plaza Shop and Save in Brighton Township. If you or someone you know is looking to start a new career, go to stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-444-JOBS, J-O-B-S. That's 724-444-JOBS. And now we're back to the best of Beaver County. Josh and Marie, we are talking to a couple of Beaver County residents, a professional retired boxer, and Anne-Marie is a recording star. Anne-Marie, you were telling us about how you got together and what brought you back to Beaver County.
Well, what brought Josh and I back, we lived in Nashville for 2 years, something like that, 2.5 years together. And obviously before that, I lived down there for like 10 years. So we wanted to really just settle down and have a family. And it was just really important for us to kind of just be around family.
Well, now, was Josh still boxing when you were living in Nashville?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Yeah, so even though it's funny, like when we were living in Nashville, we were always still on the road, whether it was me going to a show or we were going for his trainings and his fights. Yeah, that was like our home base was Nashville.
Well, now, did he go to your concerts?
Oh, every time. He never missed one.
Every time, and you went to his fights?
Everyone, never missed one. And every single sparring session, I'd be in the corner lacing up his gloves, giving him water, and, you know, we just supported each other 100%.
Wow. That's an experience of a lifetime. Not many people have done that. Just think about being able to tell your grandchildren that you were a recording star and you used to help your husband in the ring and when he was a boxing champion. That's a great story.
Honestly, I mean, it's something I think were already looking at going, wow, how did we do that? Because it's a lot of sacrifice, and it's a lot of like, all right, he has a fight coming up, so I made sure I was able to be there. And then when I had shows, he switched things around so he could go with me, and we just, together we are just a solid team. And I think that's what, makes us work the way we do.
Well, you're a solid team, and you've gotten the team together to do something called Fight2Fight. F-I-G-H-T, the number 2, and F-I-G-H-T, Fight2Fight. Tell us what that is and what motivated you to start that.
So as I was mentioning, Josh and I were, both really climbing at our career at the time, and out of nowhere, it kind of just like something happened. We got news. We got a phone call that my brother, Tony, was battling cancer. That, he was diagnosed with cancer, and he had to get transferred over to the cancer center in Chicago. And that just kind of just stopped everything. I mean, Josh and I, we're the type of people where we bring family first and foremost. And we, that was a scary thing to hear. And we ended up going up to Chicago, spending a lot of time with my brother. And at the time, Josh was training in Chicago. He was training up there with some of his team. And so it kind of worked out really perfectly for Josh because he was doing, he was training for a fight. I was doing shows up in Chicago, and we really kept my brother a part of that. So when Josh was training in the gym, we would take my brother, and here he was going through all these chemos and just treatments and stuff, and we just really wanted him to feel like, anything was possible, that he could fight through anything. And so we got the idea where Josh used to say to Tony, you're a fighter. He's like, Tony, you're a fighter. You're going to fight through these chemo rounds, and I'm going to fight for you in the ring. And it's just like, I don't know, just something just started to happen. And that's kind of the beginning of it, because then before we knew it, it was like mind over matter. Tony started believing he was a fighter. We got a fighter shirt made, and we made him wear it, and he loved it. And then we take him to the gym, put gloves on him, and he would just feel like so empowered. And then at the time, I started writing a song called Phoenix, and it's about rising from the ashes and becoming a fighter and just, just making it, and no matter what life throws at you. And so here I was writing this song, and I would play it for him, and he would just dance and sit there, and it was just the most amazing thing. So magically, we just started realizing that music and boxing can be super powerful to just get people through anything, like a struggle. And I guess we didn't think anything at first. We just kind of wanted to get my brother through it, which now he's cancer-free, and we are so happy and so grateful.
That's wonderful. But, it's fighting. Boxing is it's a wonderful training. It's you have to have discipline, and you have to have courage, and you have to overcome fear and all of those things. I can remember how afraid I was sometimes getting in the ring, and after you get hit a few times, that goes away, and then you're trying to survive. But I want to know what you're doing in Beaver County now, and what you're doing with Fight2Fight. And I understand you're working with the Army National Guard.
Yeah. So with us bringing Fight2Fight as a nonprofit, our mission is to empower people through therapeutic boxing, motivational speaking, and inspiring music. And so that's what we do. So now, we've been fortunate to travel and work with a lot of people. I'm talking from, like you said, a military base. We've gone there, military bases, I should say. We've gone, through several different countries, helping people, whether it's teen moms, people with addictions, cancer, kids in hospitals, people with disabilities, anything. We just want them to be connected and realize that life is like getting into a ring every day, and you're the only one that can throw the punches. No one else can throw them for you. And so we empower people to just stand on their feet, get in the ring, every day and fight. And we all have a purpose. And so when I say fight, it's because it's a positive thing. It's to fight for, whether it's your family, and how important it is also to have people in your corner, to be there and support you. So with all that being said, we when we moved back up in this area, we were like, wow, we traveled, went to several different countries doing this. Let's bring that to Beaver County. And so here, Josh and I, we've been really focused on, we want to just reach out to the kids. We've been to several churches, military bases. We went, where was the school we just went to recently? New Horizon. Yeah, New Horizon. We just went there and did an impact with their students there. And it's just a very uplifting program. We call 3 rounds, with the boxing and the motivational speaking and the inspiring music. So here in Beaver County, we just want to be super active and just have just a lot of positivity come out of this.
Well, now, Josh, are you helping them learn how to box, and are you giving them? Have you gone from being a boxer to being a boxer trainer?
So I'm not a boxing trainer, but whenever we have an impact, and Fight2Fight comes to an event, a school, a location, absolutely, we pull out the boxing myths, and we have like the whole breakdown from the 1-2s, the left, rights, the actual punch, and so no kind of people have an understanding of it. They're not just throwing wild; they're understanding what they're doing.
Right. Well, now, Brynn Marie, are you still singing?
Yeah, I'm still singing, writing music and doing stuff on the side. I mean, of course now, I'm a mommy of 2, and our family's just growing. So,
that's wonderful.
It's nice. It's nice because you can do music anywhere. It's like I can play music here, and it's awesome.
She can do music forever. I can't do boxing forever.
That's right. Well, now tell the audience, tell our listeners, if they wanted to get in touch with you, how could they do that?
And this is something that we're super excited about. We want people to reach out to us if they want to have an impact that Fight2Fight comes to their location. It's exciting for us as it can be for everybody. Like Brynn said, we believe everyone's a fighter, not just in the ring.
Now, how do they find you?
Our social media accounts, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and our website, fight2fight.com.
Fight2Fight, F-I-G-H-T, the number 2, and fight, F-I-G-H-T, Fight2Fight. Josh and Brynn Marie, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for what you're doing in the community. And when I hear stories like this, both of you from big families, both of you had successful careers, and you could have stayed with that, but you decided to give back to your community, and you chose to be in Beaver County, and that's why you are on the best of Beaver County, because that's what you represent. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank our listeners for joining us. Please join us again next Thursday at 11 a.m. and Sundays at 11:30 as we bring you the best of Beaver County, presented by St. Barnabas. And this is your host, Jim Roddey. Please be safe and be well.
Are you still working on that retirement checklist?
I want to find the perfect place for us to live.
I want to golf.
I'm looking for lots of activities and lots of friendly people.
We need to find a place where security is a priority.
Top-notch medical services are important.
And we have to find a place that'll let us keep lucky.
Absolutely. Well, guess what? St. Barnabas has everything we're looking for, including free unlimited golf.
Let's arrange a tour.
Thank you for listening to the Best of Beaver County, presented by St. Barnabas, a weekly multimedia segment dedicated to putting the focus on the amazing things and the amazing people behind them in Beaver County. The Best of Beaver County is sponsored by and content has been provided by St. Barnabas. Join us next Thursday from 11 to 11:30 on WBVP, WMBA, and Facebook Live. Plus, you can hear an audio broadcast replay of today's show this Sunday from 11:30 to noon on Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA.